Hello, I am the Irish guy, and the Premier League is back! Here are the predictions for this weekend. And again, if I don't get at least one correct scoreline right this weekend, then you know what? Let's leave it up to whatever the top comment suggests. No, just kidding. Good lord. Imagine if 200 people like a comment telling me to jump out of an aeroplane. No thanks. Nah, instead, I'll eat 14 bowls of Cocoa Pops in one sitting. Right, let's go. Newcastle 2, West Ham 1. Newcastle fans need some good news. The last 3 or 4 months have been absolutely grueling beyond belief. They've lost so many games, conceded goals for fun, and now even their wonder boy Lewis Miley has picked up a nasty injury. The only way Eddie Howe could have worse luck is if he's tucking into a steak at Tomahawk and instantly gets struck by lightning. How is that such terrible fortune this season? Even now on Easter Sunday, he'd probably take one bite of his Lindt chocolate bunny and realize that there's actually dog poo inside. Even now, Jose Mourinho has told everyone this week that he is ready to start work again. We all know about this man's links to Newcastle United, so for Eddie to hear that, whilst he's trying to butter scone in Starbucks, he probably does feel like weeping into his tea. But the Magpies need to beat West Ham. Come on, David Moyes is a bit of a low-key enemy on Tyneside, or at least he should be. This is someone who, while Everton boss, he always looked destined to one day take the Newcastle job. Heavily linked between 2006 and even as far as 2016. It's weird. There were always 4 managers who this club were always obsessed with hiring in the mid-2000s. Steve Bruce, Sam Allardyce, Martin O'Neill, and David Moyes. Yeah. All 4 wound up coaching Sunderland. Honestly, lads, if Rafa Benitez had not taken the Newcastle job in March 2016, David Moyes was apparently the plan B, and arguably, considering what he's done with West Ham, he'd have arguably done just as good a job as Rafa. Newcastle will win. I know they will win. It has been a while since the last matches in James's Park. The Geordies will be absolutely screaming for a win. And so yeah, early morning kickoff. It'll be a tight game, but early goals from Alexander Isak and Anthony Gordon versus a weird late consolation goal from Konstantinos Mavropanos. Boy, yeah, nervy finish, but this will be a Newcastle win. And lads, if the Magpies somehow lose this important match, then I will butter my face as if it's a slice of toast. Former 2 Everton 0. Lads, I love how I can breathe easy when tipping Everton for defeats now. I mean, in the first half of the season, before they got their points back, I was terrified, frozen in fear. Every time I felt like tipping the Toffees to lose, because I didn't want to once again be covered head to toe in milk. No thanks. But no, I can thankfully now tip them to lose in peace. I don't feel squirmier than a wheelchair-bound worm. So yes, considering Everton have had such a pathetic, ghastly record at this ground, conceding 18 goals in the last 8 visits. 5 of them were defeats, by the way. For some reason, those Everton players clearly hate this trip to the beach. I'm not sure why they always perform so badly. It makes no sense. In their first defeat to Bournemouth back in 2016, that was the same season where in the reverse fixture at Goodison Park, Everton scored 6, with Lukaku scoring 4. Whenever those Everton players are on this coach ride down, I'm not sure what happens. Maybe they all choose the poisoned apple crumble on the bus, because they always just perform like a bunch of petrified lemurs. I'm sure the Everton fans are sick of this 10-hour trip, so for anyone actually going to this match, fair play. It must be like preparing yourself to go to a funeral where your granny is getting buried in a pet cemetery. So there's a very real chance you're gonna have your face eaten by a zombie. Honestly, Bournemouth are once again going to run rings around the Toffees. 2-0, Dominic Solanke with both goals. In his revenge wish to be left out of the England squad, Chelsea won Burnley 0. For any Chelsea fans attending this game, soak it in. Stare at the opposition dugout. That is the man who very nearly became Chelsea boss last summer. You remember when Vincent Kompany, after an electric championship winning title season, he was actually chucked out of the shortlist to become next Chelsea boss? To be fair, I actually think he'd have been good, or at least better than what Frank Lampard was. I remember heavily tipping him to go and take the Spurs job. I mean, Kompany, when given actually good, talented attacking footballers, I still reckon he can produce magic as a coach. Lads, I have never ever thought that about a manager who is 19th in the league in April. Most coaches rooted in the relegation zone at this stage of the season, I've always thought they were dreary, insipid, soggy pillows who belonged in the championship. But I actually think that a young, hungry, vibrant coach like Kompany, if he was given freedom with the likes of Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Christopher Nkunku, to me, it would have been saucy to watch. But lads, this game is a formality. Burnley have beaten Chelsea once since 1983. A freakish 3-2 win at Stamford Bridge in August 2017. The beginning of the Conte meltdown. They have no chance here. Chelsea regularly eat the Toffees defense with a spoon. But I do think it will be an ugly, horrible watch. Yeah, okay, if Chelsea don't win this match, then I will chuck a bucket of red paint over my head. But still, it'll be close, okay? 1-0, Cole Palmer penalty, and even then, the Chelsea players will still be booed off the pitch. Just rotten. Nottingham Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 2. Look, Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace is not an entertaining fixture. They've only ever played each other 3 times in the Premier League, and there's been a combined 3 goals. We know this match is going to be about as boring as any Neighbours episode, but I'm going for the Palace win. I know I should probably predict the opposite, because we saw Everton and their fans are rallying when they were given that unjust points deduction. Surely the City Ground is now going to be a scary, angry football hotbed, right? Nah, not really. I think the Forest fans are going to be down in the dumps feeling sorry for themselves, and yeah, they'll be picked off. Oliver Glasner will tactically weave around Nuno Santo with ease. Palace will take the lead through a Jean-Philippe Mateta penalty. Nicolas Dominguez will snaffle in a second-half equaliser for Forest before an absolutely sizzling wonder goal from Mateus Franca to win it. I mean, come on. This Brazilian kid was linked to Real Madrid last summer. It's time for him to wake up and give us a world-class moment, Matt. Ah, Christ, now I just sound like his mum. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Sheffield United versus Fulham. Oh, yuck. I already know this game is going to be absolutely terrible. So hideously low on quality. Honestly, if this game is in the top 3 matches shown on Match of the Day, then I will pour a bucket of melted ice cream over my ice. Look, I know these teams have played out goalfest in the past. I mean, remember in November 2017, where there was that really weird 5-4 win at Bramall Lane? Both Ryan Sessegnon and Ian Clark scoring hat-tricks each. Yeah, Clark is now a 39-year-old striker from Mickleover, while Sessegnon, the poor child, he's been at Spurs 5 years and has played less than 40 league games. He was once linked with the mega move to Barcelona. People were saying he should have made the 2018 World Cup squad for England. You know, back when Declan Rice was Irish. At 23 years old, you'd have assumed he would be a shoo-in for every England squad now. He's still yet to make a senior international debut and probably never will. That is absolute flop behavior. Just sad. But yeah, this will be nothing like that crazy 5-4 match. Just a horrible 0-0. Next, I mean, for every goal scored in this game, I will smear a banana into my nose. Tottenham 3, Luton Town 0. Look, I like Luton Town, and it would be great to see this tiny little underdog stay up. But these are the Premier League games where they will be exposed for having such low quality in their side. Come on, Luton have not beaten Spurs since 1987. Rob Edwards is a good battling manager who can clearly instill unity and belief in his side, but Ange Postecoglou's tactics are on a different planet to this former Forest Green Rovers coach. And so yeah, I'll go for an easy Tottenham win. A Son Heung-min hat-trick. If Luton actually leave the spaceship of a ground with a win, then I will run through a field wearing just a towel. Aston Villa 3, Wolves 1. Unai Emery versus Gary O'Neill. What do you think is going to happen here? 3-1 Villa win with ease. Ollie Watkins with an angry hat-trick after the media have basically spent all week championing Ivan Toney to take his England spot. Look, if I was Gareth Southgate, considering they are 2 completely different strikers, then just bring them both. But yeah, easy Villa win, of course. Brentford 1, Man United 3. Let's call a spade a spade. Brentford are in massive free fall. This isn't a joke anymore. Thomas Frank is dangerously inching towards the sack. Surely. They have lost 14 of the last 18 league matches. If they continue this rotten run over the last 9 league games, then they will be relegated. It's not nice to see football clubs press the panic button and just ruthlessly ditch the guy who's been brilliant for them in the past, but I wouldn't blame the Brentford board. Things are not improving. The team are an absolute freefall. Go out there and get a Steve Cooper, Jesse Marsh, Julian Lopetegui, or even the forgotten Ralph Hasenhüttl. They desperately need a new manager bounce. This should be light work for Manchester United. I know they lost 4-0 on their last visit here, which seems mental. How have they not played at Brentford since? That game seems so long ago. Eric Ten Hag had barely been in the building 5 minutes. Cristiano Ronaldo was chucked up front for his most embarrassing ever Manchester United match. It feels like eons ago. This is the perfect Manchester United revenge mission. The ground that gave them one of the most humiliating ever afternoons. Come on, 4-0 down to Brentford after 35 minutes. Absolute yuck. At half-time, you wouldn't have been shocked to see Manchester United lose that game by 6 or 7. But nah, they'd have to wait 6 more months for that. This will be easy. Goals from Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and Alejandro Garnacho. Lads, if Brentford win this match, then I will lick a cat. Liverpool 4, Brighton 0. Lads, Brighton are in the mud. They are not scary anymore. This really is feeling like when things started to go sour for Roberto Martinez at Everton. Sure, in his debut year, they were a swashbuckling, adventurous, attractive team, scoring goals for fun and qualifying for Europe. Exactly what this Roberto did at Brighton last year. But then things fell off a cliff. They were defensive jokes, and he was very soon ran out of town. I mean, De Zerbi's been linked with the jobs of Barcelona and Liverpool, right? Yeah, Martinez was getting those links back when he was at little old Wigan. Both men are so similar to me. And so yeah, you might think that the 4-0 loss for Brighton is heavy. Is it? In 2024 alone, they've lost by that exact scoreline against Luton and Roma. Two teams who are so much worse than Liverpool. Not a single player for either club would make the right starting 11. So this will be absolute punishment for the goals. 2 goals from Mo Salah, 1 from Dominic Szoboszlai, and 1 from Luis Diaz. Just absolute rubbish. If Liverpool don't win, then I will walk around Asda whilst dancing with Peppa Pig. Man City 5, Arsenal 0. Yeah, I already talked about this in the video from yesterday. So, go check that out. Sorry, Arsenal. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section what do you think. Alright, let me know what are your predictions. So let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, as always. I'll talk to you in a while.